What's up, everyone? Welcome back to Chicks in Hogwarts, where we recap the Harry Potter films. We are on the final one, Harry Potter Deathly Hallows Part 2. We've made it. The end is near. And we know
here.
It's actually here. And
It's
we
here.
know what happens. We now know what happens.
Yes. Have all your questions been answered?
Kind of.
So I was actually in the real Hogwarts last week, and I brought you back some gifts.
No.
Wow.
I did.
What? Oh my.
This is for Rhea.
Oh my god! I have actual tears
my
in my
God.
eyes.
I couldn't go,
crying, I'm
and then
gonna
we got the
start
finale
crying.
and not
No,
get you
I
some.
really am. I'm tearing up. Noah, this is
Are you gonna
so
keep that on your
nice.
desk?
Yes.
This feels like a mug.
Yeah, it is.
This is thank you so much. Oh my god, this is so sweet. He's so terrifying. Can I leave him
Honestly,
on the table
he
the whole
looks
time?
good.
He does.
Like, he looks...
Oh
he
my
looks
god.
good.
Noah, that's so thoughtful of you.
Oh, Grimmauld Place. Thank you, Noah. That's very nice of you.
That is
No problem.
That's extremely thoughtful. Oh my god. Get a
I'm gonna
good
bring
picture.
this home.
Couple pieces of the real Hogwarts.
Yeah. This is from London, baby. London.
This is so
Not
fucking
any of
cute.
the Harry Potter stores over here. This is the Harry Potter, the good stuff.
They had like different versions. There was like a soft.
They
like
do
a
like stuffed
soft
animals
one.
of
Yeah.
them too, yeah.
But I was
No,
like,
but-
this one's kind of like.
This is
what's
cool.
creepy and-
This is different. This I can leave on my desk. Like if you got me a stuffed animal, he'd probably fall
Yeah.
over.
Just
or
put him
fall
like
down.
right here.
But this, leaving it on my desk, will be so funny. Oh my god, that's amazing. Noah, thank you so much.
Yeah.
That's awesome.
That's very nice, Noah. Thank you.
Wow, I tears did start forming. I held them back.
Now
I held
I'm
them
so
back.
fucking jealous. I gotta go.
You gotta
to
go.
London.
Yeah, you gotta go. And honestly, watching this last movie, I'm like, wow. So that's what everything on the tour I
That's
walked
what
through was. I'm
everything
like, this all looks familiar.
How long was the flight to London again?
There, it's like 6 or 7. Coming back, it's like 7 or 8.
That's really not a long
It's not
flight.
that
It's
bad.
not
It's a
terrible.
little bit longer than going to LA.
Oh my
Yeah.
gosh, we should go to London next
know.
week. That's
Yeah, let's
it's
go.
really that's
Are
crazy.
you gonna go to Harry Potter World?
Universal?
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm going.
Yeah.
I'm going to Universal soon.
Without me.
Without you.
I like that we're all just going to Harry Potter
I
places
know,
alone.
individually,
Yeah.
alone, not with
I'm
any other
sorry.
people.
I'm going. I don't think you're gonna be in Florida when I'm
No.
going. So
Nope.
But-
I thought about it, and I called my mom. I was like, "Oh, Mom, I'm going to come for Easter." She was like, "Oh, great! Like, I'd love to see you." Tickets, flights are like $1,200.
Yeah, they're-
for that weekend. I was like, "Sorry, Mom,
Honestly,
can't see you."
The flight to London and back was like $450.
Yeah,
Like,
really?
it was
Yeah.
so cheap.
Literally to West Palm, $1,200. I was
yeah,
like, "This
I
is not.
booked mine.
I'm not doing that."
I booked mine way
Yeah,
in
that was
advance, and it was even still high then.
Yeah.
So I can only imagine now. But yeah,
I called her back and was like, "You're not seeing me for Easter."
At least you, like Noah went to London, went to the real Harry Potter World there. I'm going to be going to Harry Potter World and Universal. You've been to Harry Potter
I
World and
have.
Universal. You've been to the Harry Potter store in New York
Yeah.
City. Your last stop is London. I actually
that's what my
have
last-
been to Harry Potter
There's
World
a-
in Universal.
There's something, I think I might have missed it though. Like it might be over. I'm not sure how long it's running, but at the Franklin Museum in Philly, they have a whole big exhibit
shit.
too.
You should have went there. I've been to Harry Potter World in Universal, but before it built like they opened up the whole other part
Franklin
to it.
Institute.
Like it
Yes,
was like
you
small.
only went when there was no. You only went when it was Hogsmeade and not Diagon Alley, and
Yes.
that is way cooler.
Yeah.
Way cooler.
I'm excited to go. That should be cool. Being in the immersive experience. I remember the Harry Potter ride was awesome, and I've never even seen Harry Potter at that time.
Oh, it is. It's open for a while, I guess.
This is so fucking cool. I'm so happy he's here.
He's alive.
It closes September 2022. I got plenty of time to go see it.
Yeah, you do.
Next time I'm in Philly, that's definitely where I'm going.
So, this last film,
Yeah. Part 2.
Part 2. We made it through the entire thing. I will say it was worth it getting to the end.
Yeah.
Like,
it's a jam-packed movie because the way they do it, like part 1 and part 2, it's not like it's hard because normally you watch a movie, it's, the premise of any story, a beginning, middle, and an end, and they kind of all tie together. Part 1 is just one long, like, setup to part 2, and there's no, like, downtime in part 2. It's just go until the end.
Kind of remind me of Game of Thrones.
Should I open my notes?
Yeah. Right. We have the notes.
I do have the notes.
No, the dog didn't eat the homework.
The dog did not eat my homework. I have the notes, and you'll like one of my notes with something you just said.
Probably Dragon-esque, yeah.
Yeah. No. Oh. Okay.
Nope.
Nope. Not quite. All right. I'll start. Ready?
Yep.
The end is here. How do I not start the notes?
You have to start it, yeah.
Grip Hook is one ugly motherfucker. What a scary looking dude.
Yeah.
Scary looking goblin. A wand being able to change its mind on who its loyalty belongs to makes me believe more in inanimate objects having feelings and thoughts. So like
Valid.
This table, this Dobby right here, like probably has a brain. I get very, like, I feel bad for inanimate objects. I don't know why. I don't even know an example to give, but it happens from time to time. Toy Story. We talked about, Beulah. I feel bad when she's thrown to the side.
I know. That's a squishmallow that sits in the chick's room.
Yeah, we don't put her on camera often, but
we don't.
Maybe we will. She's camera
She's shy.
Yeah, she gets stage fright.
She likes to stay on the couch.
Harry Potter is a wannabe Raven-Symoné.
For looking into the...
Because he has visions.
Okay. But... I get that.
It's a joke. Moving on.
Yep.
You're right. Being back at Hogwarts makes me feel normal again.
Mm-hmm.
I didn't like when they weren't at Hogwarts.
Yeah.
I agree.
I feel bad for being mean about Neville in the past.
You skipped all through all the Gringotts stuff, all the... We're at Hogwarts.
I have a lot of notes.
Oh. I know. I feel like, but we're already like an hour into the movie.
Yeah, but I think it got more interesting towards...
Got it.
I feel bad for being mean about Neville in the past. Good guy.
Yeah. Redemption for Neville.
There's nothing hotter than making out in the Chamber of Secrets.
Very sexy.
Draco was the biggest pussy to come out of this entire series.
Yeah.
I can't believe how nicely things wrap up in films sometimes. A snake in the very first film foreshadowing Nagini at the end of the film. Mm-hmm. I don't really know if it was a foreshadowing, but just like a snake at the very beginning and then a snake at
Yeah.
I think that wraps up nicely.
It does.
I knew Snape had a good heart. Most bullies do somewhere deep inside. This is a question. You don't seem excited about the question.
I'm ready.
Okay. Would you guys want a hard drive of all your memories?
I would, yeah.
All of them? Like the bad ones too? Would you go back and...
Yeah, but if you have a hard drive of all your memories, you can go back and just watch the ones you want to watch.
Good ones, yeah.
You know?
I guess I would.
I totally would, because there's so much that I forget.
But that's
that
like
I would
the
love
Elon
to
Musk thing.
remember.
Like if he makes a chip where like you can record your memories, would you do that?
Yeah, I guess that's different. But it's not, like, I don't care about now. Like, I don't want a chip now that'll remember from my age to, like, till when I die. I want my memories from like, when I was a kid. Like, that's what I want to be able to remember. I can't remember everything from when I was 5.
In 30 years, you'll want to remember it.
Yeah, you'll want to remember this.
Yeah, but I think you remember more.
Yeah.
Like, I think at 50, you remember more from 25.
Right. I could remember
than you do at 5.
I can remember everything from the past 6 years of my life.
Really?
Yeah, exactly.
More than that.
Yeah.
But when you can't really remember everything from when you're a kid.
Yes.
Your brain's not fully formed.
Exactly. And then you watch, like, home videos of yourself, and you're like, oh my God, I wish I could remember all that stuff.
Yeah.
It'd be weird to watch it from your own point of view.
Yeah.
Like,
I guess I'd want it, but it also scares me. A killing curse just feels like cheating. Like, a killing curse just feels like you fucking can kill anybody then.
You can.
That's nuts. I guess anybody could kill anybody, though, right? Like, I could kill you. I could kill you.
A killing curse is the same as...
someone's talking about me.
What?
Your starts ringing, and then you have to say the alphabet and whatever letter it lands on. This person, the name of the person who's talking about you.
I've never heard that.
I've never heard
Interesting.
Yeah.
Landed on D. Oh, they're filming the Dave Portnoy show.
Yeah.
Just kidding. All right. Anyways, it won't stop ringing. Lots of people today.
I've never heard that.
I've never heard
You've
that
never
either.
heard that before?
No.
That's nuts.
No. Wait,
That
so
when
then
your
you just pick a letter?
your ears
Then you
ringing,
just pick a letter?
people are talking about you, and then you say the alphabet, and then the letter it stops on. So like,
Oh.
say it stops on E, then you think of the people you know what their names
Yeah,
have to
yeah,
be,
yeah.
and then they're talking.
I have never heard that.
Interesting. I should probably stop thinking that people are talking
Yeah.
about me. All right. Harry is one lucky motherfucker. I use motherfucker twice in these notes.
A lot. Yeah.
But he is.
He is. Stories about him. Yeah.
Yeah. It's called Harry Potter.
Yeah. He's gonna come out on top.
Voldemort versus Harry was the biggest battle to exist before Battle of the Bastards came along.
Oh, there you go. That was there you go.
Am I right or
Yeah.
am I right?
Yeah.
I saw a
Battle
lot
of
of
Hogwarts was a
comparisons.
big battle.
Honestly, like when they had the whole bubble thing going,
The bubble and the giants
and like, that just made me think like,
yeah.
oh shit, like when they shoot the things up.
Yeah.
Uh-huh.
I think you're going to like my next note. Wow, one of the Weasleys did something really powerful.
What was that?
Mary
What?
Weasley? What's her name?
Molly.
Molly.
Oh, when she kills Bellatrix.
Yeah.
Yes,
Oh.
yes.
It's like, wow, the Weasleys did
Yes.
something
yes. Yeah.
big. I love how they gave Ron a gut in his older life. Classic.
Yeah, he could put on a little.
What color was his kid's hair? Ron.
Red.
Okay, just making sure.
Oh.
Just
Yeah,
a
she
joke,
had like
just a
a.
joke.
My last note of the entire series. Voldemort is no longer a problem.
Yep.
Wow.
Wrapped it up nicely there.
That's the end
Thank
of the
you.
notes.
Well done.
That was the end of the notes.
Well done. Voldemort is no longer a problem.
Yeah. I got some things I want to talk about from these notes, though.
Okay, let's go back. Let's bring him back out. Bring him back
I
out.
put them away.
Yeah.
And it's like,
Bring 'em back out. Yeah.
Encore.
Oh, while you bring him back out, I did wear my shoes. I said I was going
Oh,
to.
yeah.
Bam.
Wow, those are
Yeah, you can. And
Hogwarts colored.
and the other side. Bam.
Shit.
Oh, HP. That's
Those are cool.
Those are really white. You don't wear those a lot.
This is the first time I've worn
Oh,
them.
really?
Yes, these were a gift from Joe's siblings for Christmas, and I haven't had a proper time to wear them. This felt like these. I would wear these if I was going to a Harry Potter event, or like if I was going to. I'd pack them if I was going to London. That's for
Yeah.
sure.
I would
And I
wanna keep
felt
them
for the
clean.
recording of the final recap,
Yeah.
I had to bring them out.
Those are sick.
Yeah,
They match your sweater, too.
yeah.
Okay.
Available on store.barstoolsports.com.
Yeah.
Yes. So this may be a really stupid question, and maybe it's something I missed in the previous films. So don't judge me.
I have no judgment.
Those three didn't graduate from Hogwarts, right?
Correct.
Because they had to leave because they were in danger.
Yeah,
But didn't they not go back and get their degrees?
but it's like
Because then they come back, right? And it
Yeah.
almost feels like when Snape is telling everyone not to help Harry, but then Harry's in his uniform, but they're also not allowed back, but they are allowed back. I was very confused by like, why wouldn't they be allowed in Hogwarts? But are they allowed in Hogwarts? And they didn't get kicked out. They left on their own because they were in danger and they had to go on the hunt. But then they had to sneak into Hogwarts. It was very confusing.
It's like the same kind of thing as like you can go through high school to like junior year of high school and have learned enough to live your life successfully and like be fine and like not graduate.
Yes.
Or you could
Might be a
go
little
all the way
dumb.
through and finish completely.
no, junior.
And isn't even really
Think
like
about
a
it,
big
one more
like
year, high school.
Hogwarts graduation. It's like you finish your 7 years and then you're just kind of like off into the world. So
Right. I just was confused because the way
they're not like really allowed to go back in even because they're like Snape's in charge now. So it's
right.
right
okay.
like because it's
Yeah,
different rules.
I was just a little bit confused by that.
Yeah.
How old is Dumbledore's brother?
Aberforth.
Yeah.
Old. Don't know.
Mm-hmm.
I would guess similar to Albus.
Okay.
I don't know an
Oh,
exact
Dumbledore's
age.
first name's Albus.
Yeah.
Noted.
Yep.
Oh, because their last name's Dumbledore,
Yeah.
so he's also Dumbledore.
Correct.
Did you know that?
You thought
Did
Dumbledore's
I
first name
know?
was Dumbledore?
Well, I was like, I didn't know we were calling people by their last names in the movie. I mean, Severus Snape. Oh, I guess we're calling Potter.
Yeah.
I guess we're calling everyone by their
It's
last
just
names.
they're
Weasley.
professors. Like think about how
Yeah,
you talk
Mr. Dumbledore.
like think about how you talk to a teacher.
McGonagall.
Professor McGonagall. You talk to a teacher with their last name. Professor Dumbledore.
I knew that was part of his name, but I don't know
Snape.
if I ever knew that his
Albus?
last name was Dumbledore.
Yeah, like, oh, so he's just Dumbledore too. He's Dumbledore number 2.
Yes. His last name is also Dumbledore.
And also, we watched the recap where they said Albus.
Yeah, no, I definitely heard it. It's not like a new name.
Yeah, I think I heard it, but it didn't click for me until this very moment.
thought
and when
maybe
Hermione says, "Thank you, Mr. Dumbledore."
I thought it was like maybe one long like hyphenated name, and they just took the second half of
my
it.
Uber driver yesterday was telling me that all his kids' middle names are Fernando.
That's weird.
So he was like,
Dumbledore's name
his
is,
daughter's name's Maria, and then it's Maria Fernando.
I don't know what. Okay. That's very funny.
So I didn't know if it was like that situation.
That's very funny. I don't know what Aberforth's real full name is, but Albus is Albus Percival Wulfric Brian Dumbledore.
Wow.
Full name.
Sure, that's like a trivia question.
Yeah.
My next question is about Draco Malfoy.
Yes.
I feel like he never lived up to anything.
He didn't live up to anything at all. He was, in my personal opinion, I think we should just start giving our opinions about now that we've seen everything, what people advertised and what we actually took from the film. Draco Malfoy was advertised as this bad boy, right? That I thought was going to be like a real problem throughout this series.
He's just a coward at every moment.
He actually wasn't a problem at all. He was a big pussy, and including especially in this film where he was going after them, and then Harry had to save him. Which, by the way, Harry, he's always saving people he shouldn't save.
Yeah, come on.
But it's very nice, and he should save them, right?
Yeah.
Like, you don't, it's not an eye for an eye.
Right. Talk about
an eye for an eye would make the whole world go blind.
Talking about the guilt of just, letting someone die who you knew you could have saved.
I couldn't live with that.
Yeah.
Right.
Even if they were
mean to me.
And think about it. Think about it.
Didn't.
Think about it. If he didn't save Draco, he wouldn't have been able to tell Narcissa, Draco's mom, that Draco was still alive, and she wouldn't have said, "Oh, he's dead." Like they had a little agreement there when she whispered to him, like, "Is Draco alive?" And he was able to say yes. If he left him in the fire, he would have been dead, and perhaps Narcissa would have said, "This dude's still alive."
I missed that.
Yeah.
I missed her asking about Draco. I saw her come up and be like, "He's dead," and I was like, "Why is she?"
No,
lying?
she whispers and she's like, "Is Draco alive?"
Okay.
And he's like very slowly nods his head, and then he turns around. She turns around and says he's dead. About Harry.
What I liked about this movie, and I guess you could say it really makes sense that it was made for kids in some sense. It is also for adults because we are all watching now.
All ages, really, I would say.
Yeah, it's for all ages.
Yep.
But I understand, like, we were just talking about Game of Thrones, like Battle of the Bastards. People fucking died and did not come back to life, right?
Yeah.
Like, it was like, you're dead, you're dead. For this movie, I understand them like killing Harry off, but then bringing him back. Because if you actually killed Harry Potter off, your life, Fran, would have been changed dramatically.
Like would not
you
have
would have been traumatized for your entire life. Everybody would have been traumatized. All these young kids would have been traumatized. But I like the twist of making people like in their heart be like I knew Harry Potter didn't die. Like, you know what I mean? I think that's something, but only because I had seen so much already. It's been out for so long.
But also, and I will say,
you would know if Harry Potter died.
For sure.
So,
and also, like, even if they didn't kill Harry Potter, which, I mean, of course they wouldn't have, it's like they didn't, it's not like no one died.
They killed
they killed a lot of people in this.
Died.
Like this, a lot of people die in this movie.
But then I was like, when Snape and Dumbledore were just like chatting it up in the afterlife or like wherever they are, I was like, oh, wait, so like, where are we right now?
Well, I think now we're getting into a conversation about death, but that's just to show like they're not just done. Like,
but that's what I'm saying. Like,
you mean Harry and Dumbledore?
No,
in the
Snape
limbo?
and Dumbledore when they were talking about like the whole prophecy after Snape died.
Yeah, but those were Snape's memories.
No, but when he's actually talking to Dumbledore.
Yeah, those are Snape's memories of when Snape and Dumbledore were both alive.
Oh, so I guess it's a good question when you say, where are we?
Oh, so that wasn't like...
You know what? Like, he goes to get the memories from Snape, which is his tier. He takes it to the pensive, and he pours it in, and he goes back and watches past those are memories.
Yeah.
Those are past the Harry and Dumbledore conversation in the White King's Cross.
That was in limbo.
Yeah, that was like when he was like, Professor, is this real? And he's like, or is this in my head or is this real? He's like, if it's in your head, why can't it be real?
You know what I crossed my mind when Harry and his whole family, before he was about to go, we're kind of skipping now, but before he was about to go, like,
I think we could
find
jump in.
Dumbledore.
We all know what happened.
Before he was going to go find Dumbledore in the woods and his whole family, like, showed up, I needed more of a reaction from Harry to see his mom for the first time. Like, you were a baby and he's just like, what's his name was more important.
Resurrection Stone? Oh, when he saw the ghosts?
When he saw, like, all his family as ghosts or whatever. Like, he was just like, oh, hey, like, didn't seem to really, like, I thought he was going to break down, like, oh my God, it's my mom and dad. Like,
yeah, I guess, but he's had, like, it's not like it's the first time he's seen them. And, you know, he saw them in the mirror in the beginning, and then he saw them in the fourth one. Yeah, no, definitely, but he was ready. No, this girl would not have gone over well if Harry Potter died, I'll tell you that much.
No. That's so cute. You look exactly. I've seen that picture before, but
this was, I believe, at the bookstore buying the 6th or 7th book, I think. Look at that pen that I have on my hand too.
I need a pen.
No kid has ever been that excited to get a book.
Pens?
So excited for a book.
I should have had a pen.
Gotta get you one, like something like one of these guys. That would be fun, huh?
Cool pen.
Yeah,
I need a quill.
A quill. Yes, you do need a quill.
I think overall, now I wish I had all the films right in front of me right now to look back on all of them. I can't say that I was shocked by anything that happened in this last movie, which I think was as expected. Like, I think we all knew Voldemort was going to go down.
Right. It all had to just be tied together.
Yes. And I do like the twists and turns and thinking we're against this person. Like Snape, it was like we never knew if we were against Snape or for Snape.
Deep down, I always knew he was good.
I knew, and like I said, bullies deep down inside, good hearts, but sometimes. Maybe. Not all of them. No, that's why I wrote that all, and then I backspace. I was like, not all bullies. Some people are just bad people. But for Snape, I thought it was just an interesting dynamic when you also find out about him and Dumbledore. Like, they both knew that he had to protect Harry. Like, their whole lives, they knew this, but they couldn't just outright tell the kid.
Yeah.
Because then everything just goes under.
Yeah. It was, and that's kind of too, like, the back. Now, it kind of makes sense. I don't know if you remember from when we were doing, I mean, of course you remember, but what exactly he said when Wells did our live show in LA, and he was like, Dumbledore sucks.
No, that's the first thing I thought of when I was watching last night. Like, I was
it's like Dumbledore knew all along this kid was going to have to go through all this. Yeah.
Right, but at the end of the day,
he
can't. That's like finding out when you're going to die.
Yeah.
Like, you don't want to know when you're going to die.
Wait, but I have a question.
You know, like when people ask that question, they're like, would you want to know when you're going to die? No.
I might have missed this too, but Dumbledore and Snape were like, oh yeah, he has to die because he is part of him. Yeah. How did he avoid that? How did he avoid having to die with Voldemort?
Because the way they explain it is like when Harry's mom sacrificed herself and protected him, and the curse rebounded, and the piece of Voldemort's soul latched onto the only living thing that was in the room still, which was Harry. So he now is like basically a Horcrux. Like,
oh yeah, I get that.
So in that moment, he killed, like, Voldemort killed the Horcrux.
Oh, that's all he killed.
Inside of him, and not Harry fully.
Oh, that makes sense.
If that makes sense.
So now if Voldemort did that same thing again, he'd just kill Harry.
Right. Yes. And Harry, and it's like, because he created all the ones that he knew, but it wasn't like, it just felt like for him, Harry was his last obstacle. Once he got rid of Harry, was the last thing that, you know, and the prophecy was like, they both can't live at the same time. So, what about, what was I going to say? Oh, What about the Elder Wand actually belonging to Harry? Did that make any sense?
It didn't shock me.
Yeah.
Everything belongs to Harry.
Yeah.
I didn't like
That's what I'm saying. You know what I mean? Like it being like, wow, this actually belongs to Harry Potter is like,
him breaking it
No
in half. I'm
shit.
like, come on,
yeah.
like put it on frame it.
Yeah.
Right. Lock it in a box
Yeah.
and hang it on the wall.
Yeah. Yeah.
What if you need that? Like,
Yeah.
like
And
what if something happens?
I like how they jumped also 19 years specifically. Like it wasn't like 20 years or 10 years. It was 19 years into the future. And so that Ginny and Harry are together.
Yeah.
Is what I get.
So Ginny and Harry are together. They have 2 kids, and then they also have Ramus and Tonk's kid is their kid now.
I think it's
as well.
really interesting how we actually didn't really see their relationship develop much at all.
Harry and Ginny.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, not at all.
Like they're just
one
married in
thing-
the end, and like they really just like were in and out. We saw like some kisses
And this
here
is
there.
like not to go back into this because I really don't want to. I don't want to rehash this.
Yeah.
The and I saw it just from like seeing comments and stuff on Instagram from last week. It is like the douchey thing to say, but the movies don't go into in depth enough, like in character development as much as the books, of course. Like it's just impossible for the movies to do it. So in the books, there's just way more of Harry and Ginny's actual like connection and Ron and Hermione's actual connection. There's just you just see so much.
Ron and Hermione had a big
Like
kiss.
that actually was my favorite moment of the.
It's my favorite
That's
moment.
what I remember.
I was gonna say that was my favorite moment. We could just talk about it now, I guess.
Yeah.
When we talk about our favorite moments of the characters,
Yeah.
my favorite Ron and Hermione moment was that moment because of the discussion that we had the last time.
Yeah.
Noah and I were. We won't get into the discussion. I stand firm on my discussion about our real life dancing and stuff. You know what I mean? As for Harry and Hermione and Ron, after reading what everyone had to say about the books,
Yeah.
which is what I took into consideration, was people mentioning in the books and like the author and everyone talking about it. I now understand they're like the world was ending.
Yeah.
Whatever. I get that part. I stand firm on my real life argument.
Yep.
Though. So that's where I stand. But my favorite moment between the two of them, or just for each of them individually, was the moment in the Chamber of Secrets because Hermione did something really badass and then they were like making out like
that
crazy.
was one of the things I remember from watching the reunion. Like,
Yeah, because that
Because-
was a big moment. They talked about how
Yeah.
awful it was to
yeah,
film
they just
that.
like kept like laughing or something.
Yeah, like Harry and
It was steamy. Like
Emma-
it was like pretty serious.
yeah, Emma and Rupert are both. They both like are talking about. They're like that was the worst day we ever had.
that was the thing that went viral where she's like, that was the worst thing I ever had to do, and it just goes to Ron.
Yeah,
to
yeah, it was like-
his face, Rupert Grint.
Yeah,
he's
she's like that was.
he just looks so sad.
That's funny. But Hagrid, what like
I like when Harry came into the woods. He's like, Harry, what are you doing here?
I
Yeah.
really here's my issue, and this is I guess kind of like the Jungle Book. Don't know why I brought it there, but
Okay.
that was the first movie I can compare it to.
Yeah.
Because I played King Louis.
Oh my god!
in the
I
Jungle-
knew you were gonna just bring that up. The amount of times you
Anytime
brought this up.
I can I'll get there. You'll see where I'm going with this. In the Jungle Book, there's a lot of characters.
Yeah.
Right? And when I was cast as King Louis,
Yes.
I thought to myself,
No one has milked a role more than you
Rhea's
have.
4th grade play.
Yeah.
when I was cast as King Louis, I was still very excited that I was a part of the play.
Yeah.
No matter how small the part really in the
There's
grand
no small
scheme,
roles, only small
people,
actors.
The
Right?
grand,
Isn't that the
I
saying?
don't know, but it's a good one. The grand scheme of the movie and the play, King Louis isn't the biggest character.
Yeah.
But does he have his moment? Yes.
Yeah.
So now, let me relate it back to Harry Potter. There are so many characters I heard so much about with Harry Potter. So I was expecting a lot from all of them. When you realize they all don't need to have massive roles and parts in it, but they do their role, which
Yeah.
is how I feel
And
about
physically impossible.
Right.
Like in movies where there's so many
Yes.
people.
like the Jungle Book.
Yeah.
So for Hagrid,
Yeah.
I expected a lot from him. I think in the first movie, I just expected a lot. Did he do that much? No, but he was a crucial part to Harry's growing up and becoming a wizard.
Yes, definitely. Definitely. He played.
You see where I
it's
did I wrap
get
that
what
up
you're saying.
nicely?
Yeah, I get what you're saying. Everybody has their role and has to play it like in a
Mowgli
ensemble.
wanted to be a man cub,
Yeah.
and so he talked to King Louis.
Yes.
Bill Belichick, do your job.
Yeah. No, and it's fair because it's just like this is just what happens when books like this get made into movies. Like books that are so dense and have so many characters, some things just fall off. Like Lupin and Tonks die, and it's like barely a moment.
Yes.
And if you blink, you'll miss the fact that they died. Like they just show them dead, and then it's like, oh, they're dead. Like there's no moment
Moves
to
fast.
talk about it. Like even with the twins, like when Fred, like it's like there's no moment really. It's very, very quick. So you're just kind of like moving through it as fast as possible because there is so much to get through, I think.
I know a ton of people listening to this podcast are Duncan fans out there. Who isn't a fan of Duncan? Popping in, grabbing a coffee, maybe an iced tea, a donut, a munchkin, whatever it may be. Everybody loves Duncan, and that's why America runs on Duncan. We know the slogan. From March 23rd to April 26th, Duncan fans in Metro New York can score 2 medium Duncan iced coffees for the special price of $5. Obviously, Dunkin' iced coffee is the perfect drink to help you have a great morning, kickstart your morning. Everybody loves Dunkin' coffee. Dunkin' will pop up at Flatiron Plaza on April 4th to the 6th from 10 a.m. to 4 p.m. each day to create a time and space for New Yorkers to reconnect. You know, in real life, you can either reserve a seating area or over the phone in Dunkin' iced phone booths. If you're in New York, stop by for free iced coffee and a moment to reconnect over coffee with family, friends, coworkers, teammates, whoever it may be. Just pop in a Dunkin', have a nice coffee, have a little donut, have a little munchkin, whatever it may be. Right now, score 2 medium Dunkin' iced coffees for the special price of $5 from March 23rd to April 26th in the New York metro area.
What we didn't talk about is some of the stuff from the beginning, which I think we can do too, is like
I feel like the movie could have been like, and just overall, they could be like a little shorter. Like,
I mean, I think you could argue that about literally any movie ever made.
You could, but like, I just feel like a lot of these movies, the first like 30 minutes, I'm not fully like, or you could like speed it up. Like,
I agreed. I think they started off a little slow.
It's just like a little slow, where it's like,
and then
it felt
all
like
the
more
action.
setup at the beginning of this movie.
At the beginning of this movie, you felt like
I
there was
feel
more
like
setup?
the first like 25, 30 minutes of this movie, I wasn't like, when Harry
when they're in Gringotts and they're breaking into the bank
It
and they're
takes a
riding
while-
the dragon out of the bank,
I
that's
know.
setup.
But it takes a while to get there a little bit. Not a while, but like
No, that's
even that, like
when I really got hooked was when Harry showed up, when Snape was talking about him. Then I was like, oh, that was like 30 minutes in.
Yeah.
But all the other stuff, I don't know.
I think I know what you're talking about though, like what you're referring to. I don't think I was fully I don't want to say captivated, but it was more so like there's so much going on, so much action. Like I like when they're like when you're saying like there's a showdown. It's like Snape and Harry are talking, and you can like hear like
it's like Euphoria, where it's like, oh, this is all really cool, but I just want to know what's gonna happen with,
right,
like, you know, not a bad thing. It's not,
I guess
like you know they're gonna get into the bank.
Yeah.
like this is yeah, but you can't just skip to the end.
They
right?
had a crazy
No, you're right.
on the
You're
tour.
right.
They had a crazy dragon, like huge dragon blowing fire, and obviously I was like, I don't know the context of this.
Yeah.
But.
Yeah,
I think dragons are pretty cool.
Dragons are very cool. I always laugh at like, and it goes back to just the actors having to like play other people while still being themselves because of the polyjuice potion stuff. So like Helena Bonham Carter is playing Bellatrix but playing Hermione as Bellatrix. It's like, I think it's cool for to see, and for like the actors to be able to do that is fun. But the beginning, the dragon, they break out of Gringotts, and it's just after that it moves pretty fast.
Yeah, it does.
I would say, like jumping from
It was pretty nonstop action.
like once they're there and then they realize they got to go back to Hogwarts, it's nonstop. I would say.
I can't think of her name. The lady, when Harry shows up and Snape like flies away and she's like,
Professor McGonagall.
yes.
Yeah.
She's like, It's good to see you, Harry.
Oh, she's got the best lines in this movie. These they make me smile every time I watch. That too, and when she makes the big stone guys come down and she looks at Mrs. Weasley, goes, "I've always wanted to do that spell. Use that spell."
I like how you asked me when we first started the movies who I was going to be interested in, and just to see, not if I was right or if I was wrong, but like just if I had a gauge on like who was going to be like a really big character and who wasn't. Like I know you asked me if I was interested in McGonagall, and I wasn't like fully in, and I think I had the right idea on her not being like the biggest part of the movie, but she was always going to be there, kind of. Yeah. Do you have what I had in the beginning?
The beginning was Draco, Snape, Ron, Harry, Hermione, Hagrid, Neville, McGonagall, Dumbledore. That was after the first movie.
Interesting. So Voldemort wasn't even on there.
Yeah, no.
That must have been a miss by me. I don't know how I didn't have Voldemort on the list.
Voldemort didn't really make a massive appearance on the list till the fourth movie when you had him second.
Interesting.
Voldemort really...
I think I was trying to get to know... I think because I knew
to get to know him?
Yeah, I'm not... I was trying to feel him out. No, I think I knew that Voldemort was going to be like a thing.
And he's not... I mean, he's not really in those movies.
Exactly.
Like, you don't actually see him
so I think that's
the fourth
why...
one.
Yeah, that's why I wanted to learn about the other characters first. Draco dropped so dramatically.
Draco
so
when his parents were like, "Come down here," I thought he was like, "All right, finally Draco's gonna make a stand for himself," and then he just goes down with his parents. Like, are you kidding me?
The Voldemort speech at the end there always makes me laugh because it's so cringy, and I think it's just because he did such a good job too. But it's like, it makes you uncomfortable because it's like, oh,
Harry Potter's
like happy Voldemort is not something where like he's
creepy.
like laughing and then he like hugs Draco and you're just like, this is uncomfortable.
He was
to
like
watch.
making jokes like
That's
stand-up
like the
comedian.
worst
He's
one.
like, Neville.
He hugs Draco and it's just like, oh my god,
you're like, Voldemort,
what are you doing?
You're kind of like a loser.
You cannot be hugging people.
I mean,
yeah, like you were fucking cool until you got happy.
He was like feeling himself. He's like,
he was feeling himself. Big time.
I was hoping for better.
He's cracking jokes.
Neville.
He's cracking jokes about Neville. Yeah,
Voldemort got some swag. Like,
everybody's
in an uncomfortable
laughing.
way.
It is funny though. There are some moments that like even just at the beginning, right before the battle, when everybody on the bad side, on Voldemort's side, is lined up, and I have been watching all these back with Joe too, and he claims he hasn't seen them. He has, but he's like, I haven't seen this part before. I'm like, okay, but in that moment, he was like, who the fuck are all those people? He's like, he's had all these followers this whole time. Like, who are all these people?
I also was like, wait a second, like he's like in charge now. And everyone's
that's the
like,
thing. That's like,
people are like,
you don't see the outside world as much,
right?
And he's like, there's no one left.
It's also still
now.
crazy. Like when they had the whole bubble thing, I'm like, it's crazy that everyone in there for the most part is a kid, and he's just like, let's go, we're gonna kill everyone. Like, and
but
like,
I guess when you're a kid, that was my other thought was like, who's gonna speak out against Voldemort when you're a kid? You're gonna be like, this guy's in charge now, I guess. Like we're just gonna follow his lead.
Yeah.
There was one moment where Ron really dropped the ball. I can't remember what it was. Like,
what was it? Goes to kill the snake,
and he
drops
like
the fang, the basilisk fang.
Yeah, give me Neville over Ron any day.
Neville deserved that moment. And honestly, like I've thought about that. Like, would I have rather it be Ron in that moment or Neville in that moment? Neville deserved that moment.
Yeah. I think Neville deserved the moment too, because what moment did Ron had it in the last movie? What am I thinking of?
Ron with the locket.
Yeah.
And it was his idea to get back into the Chamber of Secrets, and he remembered Harry's parcel tongue, so he helped.
I think that, yes, and we were like, oh, Ron helped.
Yeah.
And then I think Neville needed something, because I think he would have been kind of, not like a pointless character.
I like when Neville,
I think it made sense, and he was always a part of Gryffindor, and it was like, oh, Neville maybe not living up to the name as much, and his parents, and
he has been there.
Exactly. So for the sword to show up for Neville shows that he was deserving of using
I like when he pulled it out.
Yeah,
or when he was like, they're like, Neville, are you okay? He's like bleeding. He's like, I feel like I could spit fire right now.
That was another moment I actually really liked too.
Neville's
just because he was so like nerdy, but he was like,
he like goes, he's like, I gotta go tell Luna I love her. We're gonna be dead. I gotta go tell her I'm mad crazy about her. Or when he is being chased by all the snatchers on the bridge, and the bridge collapses, he like pulls himself back up and he just goes, that went well.
I think he had a good movie, and I think now that I know what happens, I can understand what people were saying when they were like, no, like I was shitting on Neville, and they're like, no, don't shit on Neville. But people had to understand that I didn't see the movies.
No, and at the beginning, fair. You hadn't seen the redemption.
I like
for
on
Neville.
this website that I am on, it has like the cast, and you just click their names, and like it just tells you exactly like what they did basically in this movie. Yeah. You know what I mean? It's like it's a highlight reel for the character.
Everybody.
It was funny though, like how shook Voldemort was when Harry like got up. He's just like, what the fuck?
He's like, thought he was done.
And then Draco, the Malfoys run away.
Yeah, I mean,
where are they going, by the way?
They've been cowards from the beginning. I don't know. They'll go into hiding somewhere, and / not, because like Draco, obviously they get over it. Draco's with his wife.
Oh yeah. Honestly, he kind of looks like he looks today, Tom Felton. Like,
yeah, I know.
The way they did the makeup on him.
I know. He does. And I actually think at the time that was his real girlfriend that played that part in the epilogue. And then, because there's also like, so Cursed Child, Harry Potter Cursed Child, the Broadway show.
It's right by me.
Yeah, it's that is about the kids, like all their kids.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
I'm surprised I haven't like made a movie about that.
Yeah, I don't know if I'm surprised too, but I like she wrote it for for like the play form, so I don't know if they would change that. And then now we have all like the pre stuff, the Fantastic Beasts, the Dumbledore stuff.
Do you now know the names of all the like Rowena Ravenclaw? Like, what are the other ones?
What do you
For
mean?
what?
Oh,
Like the head, like
Helga Hufflepuff was the one that I was fucking up and that was what where I got confused. Where when he goes to talk to the ghost of for Ravenclaw, it's Rowena Ravenclaw, and then her daughter is Helena.
Yes.
Helena and Helga are very close. H names. I was like,
I thought we were gonna learn. I'm sure actually it probably goes more in depth in the book, right? Like about like the Rowena Ravenclaw and Helga Hufflepuff and those people.
You don't really learn too much about them. Just that like they're the founders,
right? It's just where the houses come from. It's just...
and the ghosts. The ghosts are much more involved in the books as well. Just like the ghost of each house. And
that's what I'm talking. And do they have any specific movies or books just based on each house, or is that not a thing?
No.
Interesting. I would have thought that they probably would have done like a little, like Game of Thrones, like things going back and doing like.
Wouldn't be surprised if they made Godric Gryffindor movie and
not even just like or like just a book to go more in depth of like what happened in each of those houses and how they were found.
I think they touch on it more in Fantastic Beasts, which I've only seen one time, like when it came out, and I didn't really love it, and so I never saw the second one. I heard the second one is much better, but I have not seen it. And now there's the Jude Law Dumbledore movie coming out pretty soon, I think, as well. So like that timeline wise, like that takes place further in the past, obviously, at least the first Fantastic Beasts, and it's more like earlier years of Hogwarts, so
that makes sense.
Yeah.
I love after he killed Voldemort, he goes back and like it's just like, oh hey Harry, like it's so normal, like right after.
The movie like still ends in the same way all the movies
it always ends the same way,
which I kind of like. It's like they wrapped it up the same way, like Harry conquers they conquer the problem they have, and then it's the three of them together, like outside Hogwarts.
I thought maybe like a big fucking feast and party that he conquered Voldemort. They're cheering and like in Game of Thrones.
I think there are probably mixed emotions in there since Voldemort is dead, but a lot of people died.
We didn't care about them.
Yes,
we didn't know about
students,
and it's also like who's in charge now? Like Snape's gone.
Harry,
Voldemort. I guess Harry.
Imagine
or
being
McGonagall.
Harry's son.
I would
going
you have a lot to live up to, but Harry had a lot to live up to.
But I mean, it's just like
the whole family has a lot to live up to.
I like that he was worried about being a Slytherin.
Which last name you think Hermione and Ron went with, Weasley or
Potter?
Granger?
They probably hyphenated. I feel like they would be
a solid question. I just came up with there. I don't think anyone's ever asked
definitely that. Weasley, right?
I mean, but Hermione had quite the you know.
I mean, yeah. I guess from
So, I'm trying to think because I can't remember everything from Cursed Child. Like, I think McGonagall took over as headmaster, and then there was somebody else. Scorpius. That's Malfoy's kid's name.
Scorpius? That makes a ton of sense.
Yeah.
I like imagining Malfoy. So it's like, Dad, what did you do when all that went down? Yeah. Oh, I just like hid and ran away, and Harry saved me after trying to kill him.
I tried my best out there.
It's in a tough spot.
Yeah.
But I think that favorite moments of this movie. I know we touched on the kiss, of course.
Definitely
which
the kiss.
Is, honestly, it gets me every time.
I don't like that Harry died at one point, but I do like it.
Yeah.
And I thought the limbo was cool.
Yeah. The strolled up, gross, dump Voldemort thingy majig.
Fucking disgusting.
I still don't really fully understand the point of that. I'm
sorry.
And it grosses me out every time I see it.
You don't remember that?
Wait, which?
Oh my god, it was disgusting.
In the limbo with Harry and Dumbledore, and they show.
But also
shriveled.
cool.
Yeah,
that's what I'm saying. That's why I liked it, because it was like a little bit of everything. I don't like the goblins. I really don't like. I don't.
Fair. Not for you.
Not for me.
Not for you. They're all dead. A lot of them, since Voldemort went apeshit after they broke into the vaults. Favorite moments for me, and the Chamber of Secrets kiss, the Snape memory gets me every time. That's another one that I just barely don't cry over anymore, like used to a lot. Always is a very popular Harry Potter tattoo, and it was always Snape. Yeah, it was always Snape, and he says it there, and then Lily says it when Harry's like, "Stay with me," you know, wherever he's like, always.
Wait, so can you just clarify Snape's relationship to Harry for me?
There is no actual relationship.
So he's
Snape's
not
just,
Harry's father.
Snape has just been in love with Harry's mom his entire life.
That's what it is. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. Just wanted to make sure.
Which, let me tell you something. I will go back. I don't know if it was like the fourth or fifth movie of when you said it, and you were like, what, Snape hung up on Harry's mom? And I was just like, I cannot comment on that.
Yeah, I could tell. We also didn't talk about him burying Dobby at the very beginning.
Yeah. Here lies Dobby.
You don't even need a shovel. You just once scoop into the ground, just throw him in.
Here lies Dobby.
Yep, little Dobby. He's been staring at me. Right.
He really has. Yeah, I did.
He's like, he's so ugly but cute.
Yeah.
We got the same eyes.
Yeah, that scene of Snape running into the bedroom, and also it is fun. It's cool to know from watching the reunion as well. And I saw a lot of people messaging us being like, "You got to talk about the reunion." The reunion is great. I recommend you watch the reunion if you'll think about it.
I'll probably watch the reunion. Yeah. I like when actors talk about making a movie.
Exactly.
Just the behind the scenes of all that interests me.
It is very cool. And Alan Rickman was like the only one that actually knew Snape's storyline, like what was going to happen, because he had said like at the beginning, if I'm going to do this, like I need to know, because I need to know how to play this. So he was like the only one, if you look back, he was the only one that knew, like when he was playing it, that he didn't fully, there was protection there and not just hatred.
Do you think that Snape wanted to be Harry's father in some way, considering he was so
If you were Harry and this guy's like, you have your mother's eyes.
I think he hated his dad.
Would you be like kind of weirded out, like, I have my mother's eyes? Like,
no, I
you're gonna inherit some things from your mom.
No, but like, why are you telling me that
moment.
Snape?
No, it's just like, I think that
Harry didn't know his mom,
and that was just a way of, I think that was also the way of showing that the connection was there.
Would you? I don't want to spark another debate, but this is a question. I don't even have a hard stance on it, so that's why I'm asking. Would you feel weirded out that somebody that wasn't your dad loved your mom that much? Or would you be appreciative of the fact that they loved your mom that much?
I think I'd be weirded out.
I think
this is another Fran thing.
I think appreciative.
I have no hard stance on it. I'm just
only because I just think like it's not
if another
like the person you marry is potentially the only person you love for your entire life.
Or the only person that loves you.
Exactly. Like,
People could be in love with you that you don't end up with.
Yeah.
No, I know, but like I don't need you to tell me how much you love my mom when you're not.
But if you're close to him, right? Like if it's somebody you're close to,
and your parents are dead,
and
like that plays a big factor.
And you want to know
if your parents are still alive and married, and some guy's telling you how much he loves your mom,
like, back off, buddy.
Yeah, like okay, I could see where you could have a problem with
My
that.
dad's gonna fuck you up.
But your parents are dead,
Harry
so
said
it's
would
like
do nothing.
It's more of like a love of the memory. It's like your parents are dead. It's like I think it's okay to be like,
Still, I was shocked.
I loved your mom, like she was the best, whatever.
Yeah.
Harry didn't seem like. I needed Harry to have more of a reaction when he saw his parents. Like all 8 movies, that's all he, what drove him to do everything.
I could see you having a pretty minimal reaction though.
Are you kidding me?
Just because
to see the parents that I've never met before, that I'm like,
you're not a big emoter.
Yeah, you don't have. That was a big emotion right there.
No, I'm not a big.
And I think so. Harry, like, I don't know. Harry also was preparing to.
Not in an offensive way.
No.
I think on the inside, of course. But sometimes people are.
No, I know, but I think that if
not great at expressing emotion, especially in a moment so
big.
You've never met your parents.
That moment was so big.
I think if I never met my parents,
you see them and you're talking to them and you're just like, oh, serious, good to see you.
I would be that like so nonchalant. I would be very taken aback. I don't know if I'd be like screaming, jumping for joy.
I like when he asks Sirius, like, does it hurt to die?
Oh, he's still a kid.
We can't talk about. I got
How old
very...
is he in that movie? Do we think
17?
Like 17.
They start 18. They start Hogwarts when they're 11. So this is 7. They finish when they're 18.
All right, guys. Well, where are you going to college?
Yeah. What was my final? My final favorite moment is the Neville's great, but my final favorite moment is Mrs. Weasley killing Bellatrix. Not my daughter, you bitch.
Yeah. That was good.
Yeah.
It's just something from the Weasleys.
Yeah. Well,
I'm kidding. I want to throw in Neville for one of my favorite moments.
Yeah.
Just the
sword out.
Yeah.
I want to say something. Voldemort's like, what?
Yeah.
Get it?
Yeah.
All right, should we rate it?
I think so. Do you have favorite moments?
Favorite moments?
Yeah.
I mean, I like when Harry showed up when Sirius was talking about him, like, made his return.
Yeah.
That was cool. And at that point, we still thought Snape was bad.
Mm-hmm.
Definitely Neville. Like, all of Neville's, even when they first met with Neville, like, that, I just think he's funny. But, yeah. No, R.I.P. Voldemort.
You never pronounced the T.
Voldemort?
Yeah, Voldemort.
I like Voldemort.
Okay, sure.
Voldemort.
Voldemort.
I think it's like a soft T.
Yeah, it is. It's like
Voldemort. It's like Toronto.
Yeah.
Toronto.
Voldemort. Yes. I guess. All right. So let's do our final scores, and then.
And when Harry said goodbye I posted on my story as a joke, but when he was like, I'm gonna die, and said goodbye to Ron and Hermione.
And
it was
Hermione
a nice
hugged
moment,
him.
and Ron didn't seem too happy still.
Oh.
Like, what happened in the tent?
I laughed at your story
Yeah.
a lot, actually.
We're headed into spring. The weather is getting nicer, which means you can maybe enjoy a nice Coors Light outside. Nothing better than a beer, hanging with friends, outside, enjoying the weather. Maybe you're in New York City, you're up on a rooftop, having a nice cold Coors Light. The mountains on the bottles and cans even turn blue when your beer is cold. That way, you always know when it's time to chill. So when you need to hit reset, just open a Coors Light. It's mountain cold refreshment, cold lagered, cold filtered, and cold packaged. It's as crisp and refreshing as the Colorado Rockies, perfect for a moment to unwind. For us, we're wrapping up, guys. This is the end of Chicks in Hogwarts. We've loved doing it. So now we're going to have to maybe pick some other movie some nights. So we're going to go home and watch and hang out and crack open a nice Coors Light while we are watching. It is the perfect refreshing beer for just hanging out and relaxing. And like I said, chilling. So when we need to take a moment for ourselves, we reach for the beer that's made to chill. Get Coors Light delivered straight to your door with Drizzly or Instacart by going to CoorsLight.com/chicks. And always celebrate responsibly. This is coming from Coors Brewing Company in Golden, Colorado. Where do we fall on this one, guys?
Should we go through
Yeah,
all
let's
the
go.
movies.
I want to go through
and
each one.
See what
You
we
want to
rank
go
them?
through each one and change? Okay, the problem is I don't have the ones from the first one, from Sorcerer's Stone. Can you get those?
I could just check it. Yeah.
Because those were the only ones for some reason I do not have.
Should we rank this movie
written down.
first? And then
I think
go back?
rank this one first, and then we can go back.
Okay.
I just want to remind you. I'll remind you of your last one. So part one, you guys had Rio was a 6.7, Noah was a 6.8.
Okay. Who's going first?
Part two?
6.7.
Yeah.
I will give this one an 8.3.
Okay.
I'm trying to think of what my highest score I gave was.
Yeah.
It
What was
I think
our
it-
high-
We'll go back and talk
Okay.
about
Okay,
it,
cool.
and we can readjust. But I want
All right.
initial reaction
Initial,
scores.
I'll give it. I'll give it an 8.4.
This is my favorite one. It's an 8.9.
Wow.
I feel like that's a good score.
This movie has a 96% Rotten Tomatoes.
Really?
Mm-hmm.
I have our scores for the first
Oh,
one.
for the first one? Okay, what are they?
Fran gave a 7.5.
Okay.
Rhea gave a 6.5. I gave a 7.8.
Noah, 7.8. That was Sorcerer's Stone.
Yeah.
Okay, so
I want to adjust my first movie score.
okay, we'll do that. Let's read through what we have for all of them. So that means that I'll go each person in order. Rhea, for you went Sorcerer's Stone 6.5, Chamber of Secrets 7.6, Prisoner of Azkaban 8.3, Goblet of Fire 8.4, Order of the Phoenix 6.5, Half-Blood Prince 6.7, Deathly Hallows 6.7, Deathly Hallows Part 2 8.3. So that means that Goblet of Fire was your number one, Prisoner of Azkaban and Part 2 tied at 8.3, and then after that you go Chamber of Secrets 7.6. I think so.
Calculate the average.
Yeah. And then let's see, 6.5 and 6.5 for Sorcerer's Stone and Order of the Phoenix. Deathly Hallows Part 1. It would go Deathly Hallows Part 1, Half-Blood Prince 6.7s, Order of the Phoenix and Sorcerer's Stone 6.5s.
I want to bring up Sorcerer's Stone. I want to go to a 7.1.
You're going down.
Revised score.
No, I went up.
Oh, you went up.
She went up.
I'm realizing I like the first one better than I initially scored it. I scored low because I had all the other movies to look forward to.
Yeah.
So,
So you're changing that to a
7.1.
7.1.
I think Goblet of Fire, which was all the competition,
Yeah.
I think was my favorite one.
Yes,
That was
that's what
definitely
you
my
have is
That
that
is
that
number one.
stands at an 8.4.
And then Deathly Hallows Part 2 and Prisoner of Azkaban are tied.
Yeah, 8.3s.
I'm going to bring... Fuck. Okay, so then...
So yours would go Goblet of Fire, Deathly Hallows Part 2.
I'm going to bring Deathly Hallows Part 2 up to an 8.35.
8.35.
So we can have a clear
narrowly,
cut. Yeah.
Okay, so then Prisoner of Azkaban is after that.
Yes.
Okay. And then after that, so after those ones, your next highest is Chamber of Secrets. You gave a 7.6.
Huh. I think I want to put the first one above Chamber of Secrets.
So you want it to go
So I think I want to bring
down Chamber
I
of
want to
Secrets
bring down
score?
Chamber of Secrets score to a 7.2. And I want to bring Sorcerer's Stone up to a 7.5.
Okay, so now we're going Prisoner of Azkaban, Sorcerer's Stone, Chamber of Secrets.
I want it to be clear cut here, you know?
Yeah. Chamber of Secrets.
My head's spinning right now.
Yeah,
Same.
I don't
Once
know how
it's
I'm
up on
keeping-
the board, I
I'm
think
not quite sure how I'm keeping track of this. Properly,
people are
but-
going to see it on
Yes,
the YouTube.
absolutely.
They'll understand.
And then you want to go after that. those are 5 movies. Then you have Deathly Hallows Part 1 and Half-Blood Prince are both 6.7s.
Bring Half-Blood Prince to a 6.5.
6.5. So then you would go Hallows Part 1 and then Half-Blood Prince.
Yes.
Okay, and then that ends with Order of the Phoenix last at a 6.5. Oh, Prince and Order of the Phoenix are now tied.
What happened in the Order of the Phoenix?
Exactly.
I'm going to go 6.3.
Order of the Phoenix.
Order of the Phoenix goes to a 6.
I don't even know if I'll change my scores, to be honest, once I hear them.
Order of the Phoenix is they have the good battle at the end. Sirius dies, but it's all Umbridge is.
Yeah, I don't like that one.
Yeah. Okay, so I feel confident in that one. Being
Okay, so ranking without score, we can leave this because I'm not gonna. We can put those up. Just ranking in order of first to last movie for Miss Maria Chiffo. We are going Goblet of Fire, Deathly Hallows Part 2, Prisoner of Azkaban, Sorcerer's Stone, Chamber of Secrets, Hallows Part 1, Half-Blood Prince, Order of the Phoenix.
Yep. How do you feel about my
I
ranking?
like it.
You like it?
I like it.
I like it too.
I honestly,
everyone has their own opinion.
I love seeing everybody's order for these movies because everybody is different. Like it's
mine's gonna be different than yours.
Yeah,
I feel confident in my ranking now. And then we went back and because I think doing the scores as I went on, obviously you get confused but now having seen them all and actually knowing what I remember from each movie, I think is a telltale sign of whether I liked the movie or not. So I'm happy with my ranking.
Okay, so Noah, are you going to stick to your scores or are you going to revise?
Can I hear them?
Yep. Okay, so Noah goes 7.8 for Sorcerer's Stone, 7.3 Chamber of Secrets, 7.7 Prisoner of Azkaban, 8.5 Goblet of Fire, 6.3 Order of the Phoenix, 8.2 Half-Blood Prince, 6.8 Part 1, and 8.4 Part 2. So, if we go from the highest...
scores, right?
Those are all the scores that you get.
No, I'm saying, but I never doubled up on a number, right?
I don't think so.
Yeah.
There's the same, different numbers.
Yeah.
So, for you, Goblet of Fire comes in at number 1 at an 8.5.
Gonna keep that.
You're going to keep that?
Yes.
Okay. So that means that after that it goes that's an 8.5. So then after that, Hallows Part 2 is an 8.4.
I want the Half-Blood Prince to be my number 2. movie.
Okay. So Half-Blood Prince you gave an 8.2. Which one would you like to change?
Well, then I'll change.
Deathly Hallows Part 2 you gave an 8.4. But Half-Blood Prince, you gave an 8.2. But you want...
So maybe just swap those
Swap
numbers.
them?
Yeah.
Okay, so now Prince is getting an 8.4. And Part 2 is getting an 8.2.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. So then we're going to go Goblet of Fire, Half-Blood Prince, and Part 2. And then after that, the next highest...
Sorcerer's Stone would be...
After that, the next highest for you is, Sorcerer's Stone at a 7.8.
Gonna keep that.
Okay?
And then
it's Chamber of Secrets.
I agree with that.
Chamber of Secrets, you gave... Oh, no.
Oh, wait.
We're skipping Prisoner of Azkaban. Prisoner of Azkaban was, you gave it a 7.7, so after Sorcerer's Stone.
What did I give Deathly Hallows Part 2? I gave it a low score, I think, right?
Part 2?
I mean,
we
part
just
one.
watched.
Part 1, I mean.
Oh, Part 1, you gave a low score, yes, 6.8.
All right. I want Chamber of Secrets to be before Prisoner of Azkaban.
Okay, so Sorcerer's Stone, Chamber of Secrets, then Prisoner of Azkaban?
Yeah. So
do you want to switch the Secrets and Azkaban scores?
Yes.
Secrets, you gave a 7.3, and Prisoner, you gave a 7.7. So switch those.
Yeah.
Okay, so then Secrets is now going to have a 7.7, and Azkaban is going to have a 7.3. 7-3.
And then
After that, you have, let's see, Order of the Phoenix. You gave that a 6.3, and part 1 you gave a 6.8.
I'm fine with keeping that. So Order of the Phoenix is the last.
It'd be part 1 and then
Order of the Phoenix.
Part 1 and then Order of the Phoenix.
Yep.
That's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Yep. Okay, so that's all of them. So, Mr. Noah Ives' final ranking: Goblet of Fire, Half-Blood Prince, Deathly Hallows Part 2, Sorcerer's Stone, Chamber of Secrets, Prisoner of Azkaban, Part 1, Deathly Hallows Part 1, Order of the Phoenix.
I like that.
Okay. Well, our first and our last were the same.
Yeah.
Okay.
Francesca.
Fran, me. Hey, I don't know. Mine changes sometimes. Okay, so if I go just for my score, I have part 2. And then I have Goblet of Fire, and then I have Prisoner of Azkaban, and then I have Deathly Hallows. No, Sorcerer's Stone, and then part 1. And then Chamber of Secrets and Order of the Phoenix. Sneaky that sticks, I think. I gotta look at that again. Hold on.
I want to hear your ranking from first to last.
Oh, yes. So I gave Deathly Hallows Part 2 an 8.9. And that was my first one. And then I gave Goblet of Fire an 8.7. And then after that, 8.9, 8.7. Prisoner of Azkaban is an 8.3. Half-Blood Prince is a 7. 7.4. Oh, wait. Half-Blood Prince I gave a 7.8. And then Deathly Hallows Part 1 is 7.4. I'm not sure if you should be keeping all of this in the podcast.
I was going to say, should I?
Or not, where I'm just trying to do mental math here.
And I'm dancing with
And
Dobby.
Dobby's dancing. If Dobby could continue to dance, that honestly was helping me a little bit here on motivation. Thank you.
Hey. You're a jerk. I know. You're a jerk. I know. You're a jerk. I know. You're a jerk. I know.
Sorcerer's Stone, I gave a 7.5.
Jerk.
Chamber of Secrets
Yeah, you both
is a 7.
Tag me in it.
Chamber of Secrets is a 7. And Order of the Phoenix, I gave a 6.8. So that's last. This is mine.
All right.
And I think I'm going to stick to this. These are all from my original scores as well, which I did score in mind of how I viewed the other movies. So
okay,
easier for me to not have to revise because
ready.
I had seen them all. Making me feel guilty for where I have Chamber of the Secrets with Dobby looking at me like that.
Yeah.
Part 2. So my final is Deathly Hallows Part 2, Goblet of Fire, Prisoner of Azkaban, Half-Blood Prince.
Go slow.
Harry Potter and the Deathly Hallows Part 2, Goblet of Fire, Prisoner of Azkaban, Half-Blood Prince, Deathly Hallows Part 1, Sorcerer's Stone, Chamber of Secrets, Order of the Phoenix.
I like how all of ours were different.
Yeah. All of ours are different except we all put Order of the Phoenix last.
Yeah, we all did not
three of
like that
us.
one the most. But
Yeah.
I
like
think
that one the least is how I would say that.
Sorry, we all don't like that one the most.
The weirdest way you could have said that.
Speaking backwards. I also, our top movies are kind of similar, just a little bit.
Yeah. Both, I mean,
they're all interchangeable.
Goblet of Fire and Deathly Hallows Part 2 are flipped for us. Mm-hmm. And Noah's got Half-Blood Prince a little bit higher up on his list. And I have Prisoner of Azkaban.
I didn't love Prisoner of Azkaban.
I actually really liked Prisoner of Azkaban.
We both have Prisoner of Azkaban 3.
That's a good spot for it today. And then Goblet of Fire.
I feel like the first movie slept on.
I think it is too. That's why I moved it to the top.
The first movie is great, and I will say I love Chamber of Secrets, but I think when I look at them back to back, I think I enjoy rewatching the first one more than the second one, which I think which plays into my rankings. Oh, knocking over my water. That I think that, like, yeah, I think I'm sticking to that. All right. Those are our final rankings.
We did it. We made it.
We went through every Harry Potter movie. Now, not to
Am I a wizard now?
Now we're going to end this with us in 19 years watching our kids doing a podcast about Harry Potter.
Not to end on a note. Not to end on a note where I don't want to be disappointed, but did you guys like it or?
I was afraid you were going to ask that. No, I'm kidding. I am.
Tell the truth.
Okay. Let me talk it out though, because it's not a clear cut answer. Okay. I now know why it took me long to watch these movies, because they are not in my wheelhouse of movies that I like. I don't think that I love like mythical creature type movies, and I've known that my whole life, which is why I have not watched it.
Fantasy's not for you.
Yeah. But not all. I like some fantasy, but I'm also really not into like superhero movies. There's only a couple.
Star Wars
no, like I'm not really into that. Like The Dark Knight, I fucking love. It's one of my favorite movies ever. But that's like so
standalone,
real standalone.
Yeah.
Not
that
so
could really
real.
happen. Batman could be real.
No,
so
but you know what I mean.
No,
like
it's
like in New York City,
feel.
like not New York City, Gotham, but it's different. But it's not my genre, which I always knew, which is why it took me a very long time to watch the films. That being said, am I happy that I did it and I know what happened because of everybody talking about Harry Potter all the time? And I do like all of the things that go into it, like Harry Potter World, like you talking about going to London, Harry Potter World Universal, this little guy. Like I like all of those things, and I like the immersive experience. Like I'm excited to go on the rides and like drink, but I like all of that. So the fact that there's like that much that surrounds the movies, I really enjoy. Mm-hmm. The movies themselves, I liked some more than others a lot. Some I really didn't care about at all. Mm-hmm. I think that was obvious. But I also thought that a lot of it was predictable. Fair enough. Like we talked about it.
I would say the same thing with like any Marvel movie. Like, and
Yeah.
I'm not even a hater.
Right.
I don't love Marvel movies, but I'm like, it's kind of like
besides Avengers Endgame, which I actually really
should that be the next one that we do? I make you guys watch every Marvel
that
movie.
would take like 3 years.
I'll say
I
this,
love
like
the Marvel movies, and I've seen all of them.
I like a lot of
I feel
them.
like that's the only other like
I really liked
the same concept.
But I was gonna say they're like kind of formulaic, where it's like something bad's gonna happen, you think everyone's gonna die,
and then
they
boom,
save the day.
it's fine.
Like,
yeah. Avengers Endgame though, I really liked.
Yes, I remember.
the first Iron Man's awesome. Like,
right. No, Iron Man, I actually remember going to theaters to watch the first Iron Man. There's some that I like, but it's once there's 5 of the same film, I'm kind of over it. It's like, all right, we know what's going to happen here.
Avengers Endgame 6.
Yeah.
It'd be hilarious. Chicks in the MCU. I'm going to make you guys watch every Marvel movie.
So overall, like, am I like so obsessed with Harry Potter now? Unfortunately, no.
Yes. And I would like to say that my expectations when we started this, I wanted you guys to enjoy it, but I didn't think like it would be massive. Like I didn't think you'd be running to like read the books when you finish this.
And but I think that's what people need to. I think when you grow up on something, you're always a big fan of it. And I think when you watch, I'm not in the place to all of a sudden become obsessed with Harry Potter.
Yeah.
Like. But I don't want people to think I like hated it and was like, these are the worst movies ever, because they're obviously not. They're huge for a reason.
It's a totally different experience.
I'm happy that I saw all of them and got to know what happened. And also, I think I don't know if this makes sense, I like the characters more than the movies.
Totally makes sense.
Like, I think all the characters are really interesting, and I am interested in their backgrounds, and I'm even interested in like the house. That's why I asked you if there was any movies or books like just about the houses. Mm-hmm. I find very interesting. I think it was just the movies were a little bit predictable for me, but I think that also makes sense.
Yeah.
I'm happy I watched it like in this setting, because I think any other time I'd watch it, I'd go in like just wanting to shit on it, kind of. Mm-hmm. But I couldn't do that here because
Yeah.
But I
you wanna
did.
shit
But
on
I
it because
went
of
in with an open mind,
Yeah.
and I appreciate it for what it is. And like, I'm not a big Star Wars or fantasy guy either. Like, I've seen some of the Star Wars, and I don't. But like, it's kind of in that same realm of like, I'll watch these, and like, I thought a lot of them were really good, and
Yeah.
I like a lot of aspects of it. I probably, I'm not like obsessed with Harry Potter, but
Like I said, I didn't think that
Yeah.
No,
either
yeah.
of you would be at the end of this.
but obviously, like, I didn't like. I enjoyed them.
Right.
Yeah.
It wasn't like, oh, these were the worst.
No,
I
I-
actually
No.
didn't like
There
the
were
movie.
parts
Yeah.
where I was saying it like it felt slower, and I wasn't like, it's not something that I'm obsessed with, so I'm not like, oh, I need to pay attention every second.
Yeah.
But like a lot of the movies, I was like, oh, this is entertaining. Like,
And I also think that, like you're very into the Marvel universe. You're into all the super. So when you like this kind of stuff, this is obvious. Like my sister,
For sure.
fucking loves Harry Potter. She loves Lord of the Rings. She
Yeah.
loves Star Wars. She
I
loves,
like Star Wars.
do you
as
like
well.
Lord of the Rings?
Lord of the Rings, I'm not as in.
That's kind of what
Lord of the Rings, I've seen. Like I've seen
Yeah.
them, but
I
not
always
enough to like
associated
really.
that with Harry Potter for some reason, and I know I won't like Lord of the Rings, but
Yeah.
I did enjoy Harry
My
Potter.
sister's just obsessed
you know
with
you
all
won't
of those.
like Lord of the Rings.
I know I won't like Lord of the Rings.
Oh,
I've never watched it, but like I've seen it. Like I just no.
Okay, you're very quick to judge.
But
You've never seen them. How do you know you wouldn't like them?
I just know I'm not gonna be into that. Like,
Okay,
it seems
fair.
more goblin-y, like, right?
Sure, yeah. I mean, those are the character. Like, there's the
Yeah.
people, but
I wish I could be in, like, you like what you like,
Yeah.
right? And some, like you and my sister both are very, like, the Star Wars. She's got little things running around her apartment. It's like, I like those things. I think that's cool
Yeah, yeah.
and fun or whatever. But the movie itself, I have a hard time. I also think with my attention span. Like,
Yeah.
I think when I really like something, I can get really locked into it. And then I'm, like, so focused on
It
that.
might also be watching all like so close together, where like if these were coming out like, oh, like the next one comes out in a year,
yeah,
Right.
and like but you watch it all at once, it's like
Yeah.
a lot to process.
it is a
But-
lot to take in when you watch them
but,
all very
yeah.
quickly.
Honestly,
for
after
sure.
going to the tour in London and everything, I can definitely confirm that it's not niche.
Yeah.
Because that place was packed.
Yeah.
And I'm like, these movies came out like 15 years ago.
I'm really glad we came
That's
around
a
on
hilarious statement. Noah
Yeah.
can now confirm not niche. Harry Potter. A lot
I'm
of
like,
people still
yeah, like,
interested.
yeah, a lot of people like it.
The London tour packed.
Yeah, like, no, that's what me and my friend were saying. We're like, these movies came out like 15 years ago, and this place is just packed every day, all day.
that. It's insane. It really is insane that it really grabbed so many
you know
people's
what?
attention.
I think we just ended on that.
I
It's a
think
great
so,
way to
too.
wrap it up. Confirmed, Harry Potter is not niche. Thank you all. Farewell from Dobby.
Is he giving the Hitler
Yes,
salute
this
right
is
there?
No, he's waving.
No,
Noah.
joke, just a joke, just a joke.
Okay, and this now, our final goodbye from Chicks in Hogwarts.
Dobby says goodbye. He loves his friends.